Listen while the makers of Rexall drug products and 10,000 independent Rexall family druggists bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective.
Good evening. This is your Rexall family druggist with a welcome from the 10,000 independent druggists who have made the word Rexall part of our own store names. We've done that because we recommend and sell the 2,000 or more drug products made with the Rexall Drug Company. Like Bismarex, for example. This famous Rexall antacid often neutralizes excess acidity within 1 minute. What's more, the ingredients in Bismarex vary in the time it takes them to dissolve in the stomach. And that way, relief from acid indigestion is quick, continuous, and prolonged. Quality like that of Bismarex is what we family druggists are talking about when we tell you you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall. Now, your Rexall family druggist brings you another exciting half hour with Richard Diamond, private detective, starring Dick Powell.
Mr. Diamond? Well, are you Mr. Diamond?
Oh, my goodness, yes. Come right in.
My name is Wolf.
Well, unofficially, so is mine. Sit down.
Thank you.
Oh, no, my pleasure. You must get a dividend from the nylon companies. Be terrible if there was a shortage.
I'm well stocked.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
Start by calling me Edna.
Well, then what?
I'd like you to follow my husband.
As a detective or a replacement?
I think he's been seeing another woman.
Why? Have you been running around the house in a diving suit and swim fins?
I've always tried to keep myself attractive for my husband, Mr. Diamond.
Well, then if your husband is seeing another woman, Mrs. Wolf, it's got to be an optometrist assistant.
Well, thank you. I think you and I are going to get along just fine.
Well, now that we're all agreed, tell me some more about your husband. What makes you think there's another woman?
Usual things. The way he's been acting. Business appointments every evening.
Nothing else?
He received a call late this afternoon. I listened in on the extension. It was a woman.
She called the house?
George was very unhappy about it, warned her never to do it again.
She give a name?
She said, "This is Nancy. I must see you here tonight at 8 o'clock.
She didn't say where here was, did she?
No, George seemed to understand. Probably her apartment.
Probably.
If he's seeing another woman, I want a divorce, Mr. Diamond.
And you need grounds.
Yes.
100 a day in expenses, Mrs. Wolf.
Edna.
It's still 100 a day in expenses.
Here's 200. I hope that's enough of a retainer.
Oh, that'll keep me interested for quite a while. Now, tell me, what does your husband do? I mean his business.
He's in steel.
How much in?
Very much. He's vice president of his company.
What does he look like?
Well, here's a picture of him.
Well, I'll start right away and see what I can find out for you, Mrs.
Edna.
Yeah. Well, look, after I found out just how unfair your husband's treating you, I might lend you my shoulder to cry on. And I'd just about have to call you Edna then, wouldn't I? By 7 o'clock, I was standing across the street from her house waiting for her wandering husband. By 7:30, a man stepped out on the sidewalk and hailed a cab. I recognized him from the photograph as George Wolf, and I started the tale, following him east across town to an apartment house on 47th Street. By the time I got in the lobby, it was deserted. A list of names on the mailboxes showed the only girl named Nancy in the building was a Nancy Fowler. So I headed for her apartment. Her door was at the far end of the hall, and I was halfway to it when George Wolf bounded out and ran right into me.
Let me go. Take your hands off of me.
You forgot to close the door.
Get out of my way.
What's the matter, friend? You look like you ran into a yard full of snakes.
Will you get out of my way, or must I use force?
Well, use all you like, but I think you better go back and close the door.
No.
Yes.
Stop it. You can't do this to me.
Well, I hope you aren't always this wrong.
No, please.
Now get in the room. Oh, swell. No wonder you took off like that.
I didn't kill her. I swear I didn't kill her.
Nancy Fowler?
Yes, I guess so.
You guess so?
Well, this is Miss Fowler's apartment, but I've never seen Nancy Fowler before in my life.
There was the .38 revolver lying next to the dead girl, so I took out my own gun and covered Wolf while I called Lieutenant Levinson of homicide to get right over. Wolf yelled, screamed, and pleaded, and even offered me a nice fat bribe. But we waited for Fatty Levinson and his squad of New York's finest. He finally arrived, but New York's finest was poorly represented.
Hello, Shamus. In trouble again, huh?
Walt, did you have to bring Otis?
I promised he hasn't used the siren in 4 days. Who's this guy?
George Wolf. Caught him running out of the door.
Well, Mr. Wolf, what about it?
I had nothing to do with it, but I'm not saying any more until I see my lawyer.
He was crying all over the place before you got here, Walt. Claimed he got a call from a Nancy Fowler who asked him to come up here.
That's the truth, Lieutenant. She said she had something important to tell me.
Says he never even heard of Nancy Fowler before the call.
That also is the truth. When I came to the apartment, I found her lying just as you see her.
How'd you get in the door?
She told me she'd leave it open for me to walk right in.
Bullet came out the back just below the shoulder blades, Lieutenant.
You on the gun, Mr. Wolf?
I refuse to answer any more questions.
Okay, take him down to the car, Otis.
Come on, you.
Rick, just how did you happen to be in this building at this particular time?
Well, I was hired by that guy's wife to tail him. He was supposed to be playing illegal footsies with a female named Nancy.
The dead girl?
Well, the wife just knew the first name was Nancy. The girl who's supposed to live here is named Nancy. Nancy Fowler. I've never seen her before. Maybe the dead girl is one and the same.
Well, I'll get an identification and have the gun checked by ballistics. In the meantime, I'm going to give this apartment a good going over.
Mind if I help?
Now, what kind of an answer do you expect to that? You will anyway.
He was so right. We started going over the apartment room by room, closets, drawers, everything. In 10 minutes, the coroner and the boys from the lab arrived, and in the bedroom, Walt found something.
Take a look at this.
Ah, a jewelry box. Hey.
Pretty expensive.
Regal Jewelers. Very classy establishment. Has a card in the box.
For my darling love, George. And the guy said he never saw her before. If this is his handwriting, he's as good as strapped in the chair.
Well, it looked as if my client, Mrs. Wolf, had a killer for a husband. But a couple of small items still worried me. So I left Walt and went downstairs to find the switchboard operator.
Oh, are you with the police?
I just left them. Tell me, dear, do you keep a list of the calls that are made through the switchboard?
Sure, it costs the tenants 10 cents a call.
May I see the list?
Yeah, I guess so. Here, handsome.
Gee, nobody's called me that since I had long blonde curls and a gold yo-yo. I looked over the list of telephone calls and found the ones made by Nancy Fowler during the past 3 or 4 days. The last call listed from her apartment had been made at 7:45 that evening to a familiar telephone number. The same number Mrs. Wolf had given me when she left my office earlier. I left for the home of Mrs. Edna Wolf.
Yes? Oh, Mr. Diamond, you shouldn't come here. What if my husband...
Your husband's spending the night out.
What?
In a cell, all alone.
Oh, you'd better come in. Now, what in the world are you talking about?
And it looks as if your husband killed a girl this evening.
Oh, no.
That's the way it looks.
Oh, please, sit down, Mr. Diamond.
Thanks. I caught him running out of the girl's apartment, forced him back, and found the girl shot to death on the floor.
Nancy Fowler?
Yes, I think so. It was her apartment. The police are making identification now.
Oh, it's just terrible. I wonder why he did it.
Were you here in the house at 7:30 this evening?
Well, no, I was with a friend until about 8:30.
Well, a call was made to your house from Nancy Fowler's apartment. She was charged for it, so the call was completed.
But she probably talked to George.
Your husband swears he didn't know the girl. Claims he got a phone call, and she asked him to come right over. That she had something to tell him.
He knew her all right. You remember, I told you I overheard them talking.
Your husband own a gun?
Well, yes, I believe so.
You know what caliber?
No, I don't know anything about guns.
A bracelet was found in the dead girl's apartment. The card with it was signed Love, George.
Oh, it looks pretty bad, doesn't it?
If it's his handwriting, it does.
Well, I guess he deserves it, but I'll call our lawyer and see what can be done.
I'll keep in touch, Mrs. Wolf.
I hope you will. Just because the case is finished.
Well, there are still a few things that bother me, so I'll just kind of keep looking around until I'm satisfied.
You mean you think maybe my husband didn't kill the girl?
There's an awful lot of evidence that he did, but there's still a motive to be found. You've got the grounds you wanted, so from here on in, anything I do for you or your husband will be on my own time.
Anything you do for my husband, I'll be glad to pay for.
Oh, well, now, that's real nice. Well, I'll take a run down at the precinct and let you know what the lieutenant has found out. Good night, Mrs. Wolf.
Still can't get used to Edna?
It'll take a while.
Thought you'd be in bed by now, Rick.
My landlord short-sheeted me. What did you find out, Walt?
The dead girl was Nancy Fowler.
Figured.
And George Wolf did do the killing.
His gun?
Yeah, we checked the registration. His gun, his fingerprints on it, his handwriting on the note in the jewelry case.
What does he say about the bracelet and the note?
He bought it all right. We checked. Regal Jewelers. Says it was for his wife. You expect him to say something different?
No. What's the motive?
We'll find it. Probably another man.
Here's the report on the dead girl, Lieutenant.
Well, isn't it a little late for you, Otis? Why aren't you out flying around some belfry?
He's picking on me again, Lieutenant.
Maybe you'd like me to tell him about the time I caught you sleeping in the attic hanging by your toe.
Oh, not you too, Lieutenant.
Otis, I hear you've been picking up some extra money posing for Charles Adams.
I don't have to take this. I know my rights, and I ain't no bat.
Here's something on the dead girl. She works at the Gilded Cage, a nightclub owned by Eddie Young.
Eddie Young. Wow. There's a nice little fella. He'd set fire to his grandmother if he thought it was too cold in the room.
We'll have a talk with him tomorrow.
Well, I guess I better be going.
Sure. See you later.
Yeah, I could sure use some sleep.
Yeah. And, Rick, when you get over to Eddie Young's club, give him my best.
Smarty. The Gilded Cage, where Eddie Young ruled as proprietor and keeper for his flock of hired gorillas, was only about 6 blocks away, so I decided to walk it. But like always, I start in one direction and end up getting sidetracked.
Keep walking, Diamond. Don't turn around.
You caught me when I'm right in the mood.
You turn around, I shoot you.
What's the matter? Don't you want me to spot your Tony?
Over to that car.
Okay. Quit poking. Your muzzle's cold.
You drive. I'll get in the back.
Oh, I forgot my glasses. Can't see 3 feet without them.
Get in.
But I have a restricted driver's license.
You want it right here?
I can wait. Where to?
Just start driving and don't turn around.
We headed east across town with a gun pointed at my neck. I tried to get a look at the guy in the rear vision mirror, but he was sitting too far to one side. I didn't know where we were headed, but I had a pretty good hunch why we were going there.
Turn right. And take it a little slower. I don't want to have to shoot a cop.
Well, if we're headed for the river, I've seen it.
From the bottom?
Don't you think we'd better stop at a bathhouse or something?
I know a spot where you can go in, clothes and all.
Okay. But if there's anything I hate, it's getting my money wet.
Turn right again.
We were headed for a cross street. I could only turn right or left. A big warehouse was dead ahead. I eased down on the gas and we picked up speed as we neared the intersection. As I started to make the turn, I stamped down on the gas hard and at the same time threw myself toward the floorboard. His gun went off so close to my ear, I felt like my head had split wide open. Then we hit the building.
You're listening to Richard Diamond, Private Detective, brought to you by the makers of Rexall Drug Products and your Rexall family druggist. And here he is.
Last week, a customer said to me,
I wish I knew some way to be sure I'm getting enough vitamins. Some way that's easy. Yes, and inexpensive, too.
well, ma'am, millions of people have found the easy way to do that. They take Rexall Plenamins.
Plenamins?
Rexall's popular multivitamin capsules. Just 2 Plenamins a day give you more than your minimum daily requirement of every vitamin for which such requirements have been established.
Well, you can't expect much more than that.
Yet Plenamins do give you more than that, for they also contain valuable liver concentrate and iron, plus other factors of the vitamin B complex.
Say, they sound expensive.
On the contrary, Rexall Plenamins cost you only a few pennies per day. Ask for Plenamins at Rexall drugstores everywhere, and remember, you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
And now back to tonight's adventure with Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
We had hit the building and pushed our way halfway through the brick wall. I was still on the floor, and the motor had been shoved through the firewall and was jammed into the front seat where I'd been sitting a minute before. My friend with the gun was stretched out over the top of the seat, his legs resting on the horn and his shoulders through the windshield. I sat up, rolled him off the horn. He was very dead. Before a crowd could collect, I climbed out and got to a phone, called Walt.
Are you sure you're all right, Rick?
Yeah, I can hear things better now.
And you said the other guy's dead.
Very, I recognized him, too. Gus Winkler.
Holy cow. You know who he's working for now?
No?
Eddie Young.
Oh, that's it. Well, don't pick Young up, Walt. I know a few things I haven't told you about, and this almost puts a cinch on it. I want to talk to Young, and then I'll be down to see you.
But if Young tried to have you killed...
Oh, if he did, you can't prove it. Not yet, anyway, so sit tight, and when I get there, I'll show you how to catch a killer.
You going someplace, chum?
Yeah, right through that door, chum.
That's Mr. Young's office. Maybe he don't want to see you.
Maybe he don't, but he's going to be disappointed.
You ain't going in there, chum.
I see. Everybody gets disappointed sooner or later, chum.
Yeah, what... Aren't you in the wrong room?
That's what your boy outside thought. I changed his mind.
Are you sure you ain't looking for Bellevue, Jonas? You're kind of a mess.
One of your boys, Gus Winkler, tried to give me swimming lessons. You can claim his body at the morgue.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Somebody else who works for you got killed tonight, too.
Yeah, who?
Nancy Fowler.
What?
Oh, come on, Eddie. I couldn't stand it if you started crying.
Who killed her?
The police are holding a man named George Wolfe. Know him?
No, I don't know him, but Nancy's talked about him a couple of times.
Hey, boss, that guy just...
Forget it, Lou.
Well, boss, he...
Forget it, will you? Go on, beat it.
Okay.
You know, Shamus Lou's a pretty big boy for you to go pushing around. He's liable to stay mad.
So Nancy said she knew this George Wolfe.
That's right. Ritual guy, from the way she talked, she was taking him good.
Where were you between 7 and 8 this evening?
Right here in this office. I got witnesses.
Oh, I'll bet you have. Okay, Eddie, I'll see you around. I left the office knowing how close I was to the whole answer and called Walt at the precinct. I told him to meet me up the block from the Gilded Cage, and 10 minutes later, he pulled the squad car up the curb, and I climbed in.
You find out anything?
Yeah, but I have to know one thing first. What time was Nancy Fowler killed?
Coroner's report puts it at 7:30.
Well, that ties it.
Now, would you mind telling me what it's all about?
I'll do better than that, Walt. I'll show you. But we've got to wait until Eddie Young leaves the cafe and goes home. It was around 12:30, and we settled back to wait. And with an impatient cop sitting next to me, it wasn't easy. Around 1 in the morning, a boy brought Eddie Young's convertible up in front. We watched Eddie climb in. Okay, Walt, tail him. We stayed close, following Eddie Young across town until he pulled up in front of his apartment and turned into the basement garage. Give me 5 minutes, Walt. Then come on up to Young's apartment.
Why can't I go now?
Because what I'm about to do isn't quite legal, and I couldn't stand seeing you blush. Hold it, Eddie.
Hey, what's going on?
One yell and I'll kill you.
Look. Damon. Come on, put away that gun, will you? What do you want?
Let's go up to your apartment. But please believe me, Eddie. I'll do something bad if you get out of line. We rode the elevator up to Eddie's 8th floor apartment. I shoved him in the door ahead of me and then made sure there was no one else around to give me any trouble.
All right. What do you want?
Pick up that phone.
Okay, but take it easy with that, will you? Well, who do you want me to call?
This number and hurry. I'll tell you what to say.
Okay, now. I don't get this. Evergreen Street.
What's the matter? Don't you like that number, Eddie?
I don't even know the number.
Well, then dial it quick.
Okay.
And when you get an answer, just say, "This is Eddie. Get right over here. I got to see you."
And I'll look Shamus.
You look, Eddie. I'm going to hold this barrel right between your eyes so you can see it coming if you make a mistake.
I won't make a mistake. Hello. This is Eddie. Yeah, get right over here. I gotta see you. I can't talk. Goodbye. Okay, now, will you take that gun away?
You look a little worried.
What have I got to be worried about? I don't know who I was talking to. Oh.
That should be the law, Eddie.
What is this, Diamond?
I'm sorry I can't show you right now. Good night, Eddie.
Wait a minute.
Come on in, Walt.
You said 5 minutes. Holy smoke, what happened to him?
I just put him to sleep. We'll stay that way for a while.
Now, Rick, you've got to tell me what's going on.
I told you I'd show you. Now go on in the kitchen and see if you can find some ketchup.
Ketchup?
Yeah, then bring it out here and pour it all over Young.
Have you lost your mind?
Walt, I want him to make him look like he's bleeding. Now go find the ketchup or I'll just have to cut his throat. Walt found the ketchup and under protest poured it over the unconscious Eddie Young. Then I made sure the door was unlocked and we went out in the hall to wait.
Please, Rick, what is this?
It's the same way Nancy Fowler killing was framed, only she was really killed. Shh. Quiet, elevator.
Okay, I'll play along with it.
Let's go, Walt. All right, hold it, Miss Wolf.
Oh, Mr. Diamond, he's dead. He's dead. His hair is all covered with blood.
Why did you kill him?
Kill him? I didn't kill him. I just got here.
Who let you in?
He told me the door would be open.
I didn't know you knew Eddie Young.
Well, yes, I know him. He's an old friend.
What?
This is Lieutenant Levinson, Mrs. Wolf. He's the man who arrested your husband for the murder of Nancy Fowler.
Lieutenant, I swear I didn't kill Eddie.
Looks bad, Mrs. Wolf.
I didn't. Why would I want to kill Eddie?
Well, why would your husband want to kill Nancy Fowler?
I don't know. What has that got to do with this?
You told me you didn't know Nancy Fowler.
I didn't.
You knew Eddie. Nancy worked for Eddie.
Well, I didn't know it. I didn't know Eddie that well.
You said a girl called your husband and said her name was Nancy.
Yes, that's right.
You told me you didn't know her last name, and yet when I came over and told you your husband had just killed a girl, you asked me if it was Nancy Fowler.
That's a lie.
You said that Nancy phoned your husband that afternoon.
She did. I swear
And yet Nancy Fowler's hotel switchboard has no record of a call being made to your phone any time in the afternoon.
They made a mistake.
But at 7:45, a call was made from Nancy's apartment to your phone number.
Then she must have called my husband again.
According to the coroner's report, Nancy Fowler was dead at 7:30.
Oh,
Mrs. Wolf, I can swear your husband didn't go into that building until 8 o'clock. I was following him.
I guess it doesn't make any difference what Eddie did.
Did Eddie kill the girl?
Yes. I called my husband. I wanted to get a divorce.
And his money at the same time.
Eddie knew Nancy, so we decided she'd be the one. She let Eddie in. He made her call my husband. Then he shot her.
And the gun and the bracelet. You just took them out of your husband's dresser drawer and planted them in Nancy's apartment?
Yes. I found the bracelet in the drawer with the gun. I guess my husband was going to surprise me. Eddie! Eddie is moving! Oh, Eddie. Eddie, darling.
Hey, what happened?
You're hurt. You're bleeding.
Bleeding?
Stay still until we can call it.
Wait a minute, will you? Hey, what is this stuff? This isn't blood. I'm covered with ketchup.
Ketchup! Ketchup! Why, you dirty no good! Eddie, we've been framed!
Framed?
They're all yours, Walt.
Why?
Good night, Mrs. Oh, I guess now is as good a time as any. Good night, Edna.
Yes?
Helen?
Hmm?
It's Rick, honey.
Oh, isn't that sweet? I was just dreaming. Rick, it's 4 a.m. Where are you?
Oh, I'm helping Walt close up the Gilded Cage.
Helping Walt close up the what?
The Gilded Cage nightclub.
I hear music.
Bud and his accordion will love you.
Are you drinking?
Honey, I'm with the police force.
What was that?
Oh, that was Walt. He said, Rick.
You stood me up this evening.
Well, I'm going to make up for it, honey. Listen. Okay, 1, 2. You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me want you. And all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it. You made me happy sometime. You made me glad. But there were times, dear, you made me feel so bad. You made me sigh, for I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you. I want some love that's true. Give me what I cry for. You know you got the kind of kisses that I die for. You know you made me love you. Abe? That's enough, Abe. How was that, honey? 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 Oh, well.
She like it.
Well, of course she did. She'll be dreaming about it for the rest of the night. Come on, Walt. Let's dance.
Once more, here's your Rexall family druggist.
No faster acting aspirin made. That's Rexall aspirin. When taken with water, the 5 full grains of pure aspirin contained in every Rexall tablet are ready to go to work for you even before they reach your stomach. Next time you need aspirin, remember Rexall aspirin. There's no faster acting aspirin made. Ask for it at Rexall drugstores everywhere, and remember, you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall. Richard Diamond, Private Detective, stars Dick Powell in the title role and is written by Blake Edwards with music composed and conducted by Frank Worth. Featured in tonight's cast were Virginia Gregg, Ted DeCorsia, Wilms Herbert, Hy Averback, Stacey Harris, and Victor Perrin. Richard Diamond, Private Detective is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. This is Bill Foreman inviting you to be with us next Wednesday at this time when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective.
Hiya, beautiful.
Get lost, Bristlepuss. You need a shave.
But I have shaved. What else do you want me to do?
Silly boy, she wants you to go Stag.
Go Stag? But why?
Because Stag is Rexall's exclusive line of men's good grooming aids, like Stag Brushless Shave Cream. No fuss, no massage, just smooth it on and presto, you get a clean, close shave. Your face stays smooth and whiskerless all day long.
I'll do it. I'll go Stag.
That's it. Join the Stag line now at Rexall drugstores everywhere.
Yes, to make girls care. Go Stag.
Sarah Berner will delight you tomorrow with Sarah's Private Caper on NBC.
Here is another in NBC's great parade of new shows. as Richard Diamond, private detective.
Hello there, this is Diamond. I'm a private detective. And as long as I've been in this business, I've found only 4 things that really make this racket worthwhile. Women, money, women, and more money. Don't misunderstand me. I've got other habits, too. I drink lots of milk, go to the fights, dance meanest rumba west of Ebbets Field, and write fan letters to June Allison. But no matter how you slice it up, it still boils down to the same ghastly facts. To drink the gallons of milk, you've got to have loot. To go to the fights, you've still got to have it. But you add a little something, or a big something, as the case may be. That's right, a woman. Then if you're going dancing, you like to go to a nice place. Nice place? That's an 8 by 10 dance floor supported by bodies of patrons who couldn't pay the $12 minimum. So now you get into more money, and there you are. Women, money, more women, and more money. About the fan letters to June Allison? Oh, who knows? She never writes back anyway. To show you how I make this money that gets me into so much trouble, let me tell you about a case I got mixed up in. It all started last week during a seance.
Quiet, please, quiet. Now, if you will please place your hands on the table, Mrs. Van Dyke. Lightly, just the fingers touching.
Dr. Langley, I'm so excited.
Please, Mrs. Van Dyke. Professor must have complete silence.
Oh, I'm sorry, but what's he doing?
He's going into his trance.
Dr. Langley?
He's contacted the outer circle.
I feel your presence. Who are you?
Doctor, that voice is calling me.
Not too loud. You'll break the contact.
But Myrna's my first name.
Listen.
Spirit, speak again. Who are you?
I am Lillian Van Dyke.
That's Mother. Mother!
Mrs. Van Dyke, you must relax. If you continue to disturb the contact, your mother will leave.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Spirit, I feel that you have a message for someone in this room. Spirit, have you such a message?
I have.
Then speak.
Myrna.
Oh, yes, Mother?
You are in grave danger. Guard yourself. Rely on Dr. Langley. He will help.
Yes, Mother. What else? Mother?
Contact has been broken. Your mother will not return again today.
Oh, will I be able to speak with her again, Professor? I must speak with her again. She said I was in some kind of danger.
If you will return here tomorrow, Mrs. Van Dyke.
Mother said to rely on you, Doctor. I intend to.
I assure you your confidence will be rewarded, Mrs. Van Dyke. In the meantime, I suggest you go home and get some rest.
Yes, this experience has been rather trying. Goodbye, Professor. I shall see you tomorrow.
Until tomorrow, dear lady.
Coming, Doctor?
I wish to consult with the professor for a moment. I'll be right along.
Very well, Doctor. I'll wait in the car. Goodbye again, Professor, and bless you.
Goodbye, and bless you, you old goat.
Take it easy. Until she gets out the front door.
Okay. Now, look, Langley. When are we going to pull the job? I'm getting tired of drumming up banshees for old moneybags. Let's get those jewels.
Look, tomorrow her mother is going to tell her that someone is after her precious jewel collection.
Tell her? She'll lock him up in Fort Knox if that happens.
Oh, I'm surprised at you, Professor. What if her dear old departed mother tells her to leave them with me for safekeeping?
I get it. By the time she gets wise, we'll be in Mexico.
Right. I'll see you tomorrow morning before Van Dyke gets here. We'll plan what we want the voice to say. And for Pete's sake, tell that old witch to sound like a ghost for a change. She came on today like Apple Mary with a hangover.
Mr. Diamond?
That's right. Come on in, but watch the clothesline.
Oh, you've been washing. Aren't these a little loud?
You should stop around when I'm doing socks.
My name is Van Dyke, Mr. Diamond. Nancy Van Dyke.
Miss?
Mm-hmm.
Well, bully for our side. What can I do for you, Miss Van Dyke?
I'm worried about my aunt, Mr. Diamond.
Why? Is she playing shortstop for Brooklyn?
I don't think I understand that.
You're not alone, but I have to keep trying. Why are you worried about your aunt, Miss Van Dyke?
Well, lately she's been seeing a man who calls himself Dr. Langley.
Uh-huh. Are you of the Long Island Van Dykes?
We used to live on Long Island. Why?
Well, if you're the same family, you say piggy bank instead of U.S. Mint.
We are quite wealthy.
Uh-huh. That's like saying Scarface had a gun collection. You think this Dr. Langley is after your aunt's money, is that it?
Yes. He's been taking her to see a clairvoyant, and she claims that he produced her dead mother and that she talked with her.
Maybe she's been getting tips on the market.
My aunt says that this apparition, or whatever it is, warned her of impending danger.
What's the medium's name?
He calls himself Professor Leonardo.
Uh-huh. What else did the ghost have to say?
Well, she said, or it said, to trust Dr. Langley, and that's exactly what my aunt started to do. She even consults him on matters of business. He's completely sold her on this phony Professor Leonardo, and unless I miss my guess, he's got a wandering eye for her jewelry collection. She had it out, and she was showing it to him last evening.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to prove that this Dr. Langley and the professor are charlatans.
Well, in my business, charlatan is a nice word. These guys are either legit or phony. So if you want me to find out, the fee is $100 a day in expenses.
Well, I'll give you a retainer. Is $200 all right?
Have you ever seen 200 that wasn't? What's your aunt's name and address?
Mrs. Myrna Van Dyke, 326 Park Avenue. There's your 200, Mr. Diamond.
Thank you.
If you prove these men are phonies, please report it to my aunt. Then stop by my place, and I'll pay you the rest of your fee. 741 Madison Avenue.
Miss Van Dyke, did you ever model bathing suits?
No, Mr. Diamond. But I have a very nice one. I got it in the south of France last season. I'll show it to you sometime.
I hope it won't be on a hanger. Goodbye, Miss Van Dyke. Well, I had 200 fat clams in my little hot hand, and an assignment that didn't look like it was going to be too tough to crack. I needed some information on the professor and the doctor, so I headed for the 5th Precinct Police Station and Walt Levinson's office.
Yeah, what did... Oh, no. What do you want, Shamus?
Why, Sergeant Otis, what will the lieutenant say when you find your big feet all over his desk?
He won't say nothing. He ain't here.
Well, how'd you ever figure that out? Where is he?
Out of town.
Doing what?
Doing his vacation, that's what.
Don't tell me he left you in charge.
Yeah. What's the matter with that?
If you've got a few days, I'll tell you about it. Leaving you in charge of homicide is like stopping a leaky faucet with bubble gum.
I ain't in charge of homicide, wise guy, but I could do it if I had to. He just asked me to watch his office and take the call.
He'd get better results with a parrot. Well, I want some information, Sergeant. Who do I see?
Me.
I could see more in a barrel of mud.
Now, you better lay off, Gumshoe. I got instructions to throw you out if you get out of line.
Oh, Sergeant, it's nothing personal. You've got beautiful eyes, and, I love all three of them. It's just that you're obnoxious.
Well, okay. But you start calling me any nasty names and you go out of here,
Sergeant.
Well, you do. Now, what do you want?
I want your file on buncoitis.
Okay. You come look up some of your relatives?
Oh, that was a real garter snapper, Sergeant.
Yeah, here's the file.
You can do me one more favor. Look up Professor Leonardo. He's a spiritualist.
Oh, drunk, huh? I'll get the file.
Oh, no, Sergeant. In the phone book, he's like a fortune teller.
Oh, one of them guys.
That's right. Wow. Well.
Find something?
Yeah, I was looking for this guy, too.
Let's see. Dr. R.L. Langley. Alias Dr. Fred Bishop. Alias Dr. Leopold Karnowski. Hey, this guy's been busy. 2 convictions. Bunko artist. According to this, the guy goes after old dames and gives them a good fleecing.
You're positively brilliant, Sergeant.
It ain't nothing.
It is when you do it. Did you find the phone number of the professor?
Yeah, right here. Professor Leonardo, fortune teller, and clairvoyant. Okay?
Oh, want to use the phone?
Sure. Only leave a nickel.
I wish I had your nose full of them.
Professor Leonardo's Psychic Sanctuary.
My name's Appleknocker, Harold Appleknocker. I'd like to make an appointment with Professor Leonardo.
Just what seems to be your problem?
Well, you see, it's like this. I have a 1,000-acre hog ranch in Kentucky, and last week my brother Oney got lit up on juniper juice and fell in a waller. It was a pretty deep one, and he done drowned.
I was wondering if you could fix it so I could talk with him.
Who recommended you to us?
Ain't nobody recommended nothing. I just looked it up in the phone book.
Well, the professor is rather busy, and his time is expensive. I'm afraid...
Oh, shuckins. I ain't worried about money or nothing. I make $40,000 a year just off in the hogs, not to mention the still I got going back on the hills.
Still?
Yeah, got it camouflaged. Only time a revenuer ever got suspicious was when he saw the moon on the door. It was backwards.
The price is $50 a reading, and $100 if the professor is able to contact your brother.
Fine. I'm going to be busy at the stockyards this afternoon, and I'd like to drop around this evening if I could.
How would 8 o'clock be?
Just dandy.
Goodbye, then, Mr. Appleknocker.
Bye, you all.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm going to have my fortune told, Sergeant. If you want to come along, you can put your shoes if you want to, and come along, George, come
you're
along.
nuts.
Oh, you're just lonesome. Bye, y'all. I left the 5th precinct and headed for 975 Park Avenue. The way the case looked to date, I was going to be working that night, and my lovely redhead would be unhappy if she had to sit home. Sometimes you get a case that's fun, and this looked like one of those times, so I decided to take Helen with me to Professor Leonardo's.
Rick, a fortune teller?
Yeah, he brings the dead back, too. Want to go?
If he doesn't dig up some of your old jokes.
Oh, you are a vicious female. Just for that, old Harold Appleknocker is going to show up alone.
Harold Appleknocker?
Yep, raise hogs. You know, this little figgy went to market.
Rick, that tickle.
Don't you and Sergeant Otis ever wear shoes?
Oh, I like to run around in my bare feet. It's hot.
That's only 90. What would you do on the Sahara? Don't answer that.
What time will we do at this spook parlor?
Oh, 8 o'clock. That's 2 hours. In the meantime, let's start a little seance of our own. First, you start by holding hands.
Rick.
Yes. Oh, are you Mr. Appleknocker?
Oh, yep, that's me, and this here's my girl, Lulabelle.
Howdy.
Yes. Well, won't you come in? Professor Leonardo isn't back yet, but if you'll just be seated in here, he should be in at any moment.
Well, just look at this here room. What are all them figures all over the wall?
Those are the signs of the zodiac.
Hey, look at there, Harold. That's a goat.
Well, so it is. Bless my little pointed head. Used to raise goats, too, along with the hogs.
That's the professor now. Good evening, Professor.
Good evening. Oh, this must be Mr. Applesucker.
Appleknocker, Professor. And this here's my girl.
Lulu Bell.
Yep, that's right.
Howdy.
Yes. Well, Mr. Appleknocker, I understand you want me to contact your dear departed brother.
Well, he wasn't so dear, but he sure done departed. Fell in a pig waller.
Of course. Now, if you'll just take these chairs around this table.
Where do you want him to go?
No. I mean, sit in them. You right here, Mr. Appleknocker, and you right next to him,
Lulabelle.
Yes, Lulabelle.
Howdy.
Yes, howdy. I mean, if you please, turn off the light.
Yes, Professor.
Hey, Lulabelle.
Yeah?
This is fun, ain't it?
Yeah.
Now, I must have complete silence, please. Did you laugh, Miss,
Lulabelle?
Yes, Lulabelle.
Howdy.
Never mind. Now, silence, please. I'm going into a trance. I call to the world beyond. I wish to speak to the spirit of Oni Applehanger.
Appleknocker.
Correction, the name is Appleknocker.
Lulabelle.
Howdy.
I feel your presence. Who are you, spirit? Speak.
I'm Oni Appleknocker.
Well, Oni, how the deuce are you?
Please, you break the contact.
Well, ain't it okay if I ask him a few questions?
It's not the usual procedure, but we seem to be establishing a precedent tonight. Go ahead.
Hey, Oni, you remember Lulabelle, don't you?
Yeah, howdy, Lulu Bell.
I'm very happy to make your acquaintance again, Oni.
Mr. Appleknocker, you must not laugh at the spirits.
The Applehunker.
Apple Hunker.
And Lulabelle.
Yes, I know.
Howdy.
Now, wait just a moment. What's going on here? Turn on the lights.
What's the matter?
These two people are laughing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Professor. But I think you've been taken for that well-known ride.
You mean this is some kind of a practical joke?
I don't know how practical it is, but it sure got a laugh.
Professor, their accents.
Yeah, they went out when poor Oni jumped up from the pig waller.
Oh, I see. Well, look here, young man. I don't see the humor, and it's going to cost you just $100 for this laugh.
Oh, it is, huh?
Yes, or you're going to walk out of here on crutches.
That's the funniest thing you said all night.
What do you want, anyway?
I just wanted to find out how phony you were. Now, you ought to be ashamed taking advantage of old ladies like Mrs. Van Dyke.
Professor.
Shut up. Who are you?
The name's Diamond. Look me up sometime. I'm in the phone book under detectives. Come on, Helen. I've got to go see the old girl and wise her up to this louse. Helen and I left the professor and his witch and went out on the street. I hailed a cab and put Helen in it and sent her home to wait for me. 20 minutes later, I was ringing the doorbell of the Van Dyke residence. I stopped ringing and tried my knuckles, and that's when I noticed that the door was ajar. I pushed it open and walked in. I stopped cold in my tracks. The hair on my neck jumped off and hid in the corner. Lying on the bed was what looked like a body. I couldn't tell because it was covered with a sheet. I was sure of one thing. Whatever it was bleeding all over the place, and the first word that came to my mind was murder. I pulled the sheet back and took a look at what could only have been Mrs. Myrna Van Dyke. She was about 60, and she was wearing a quilted housecoat. She didn't have to worry about trying to button it, because it was pinned together at the neck with a long knife.
Well, Diamond, you sure can dig 'em up, can't you?
Huh? Oh, Otis, how did you get here?
After you left the station, I called the lieutenant and told him you'd been in and you was acting screwy. He told me to tell you. Now, I'm glad I did.
Oh, mess, isn't it?
Yeah, stabbed in the throat. Looks like she was getting ready for bed. That's a towel around her head, ain't it?
Could be her hair, but I doubt it. It says Adams Hotel on it.
Let's take a look around.
Oh, hey, get a load of this.
What?
Over here on the dressing table.
Hey, ain't that a wig?
It sure is. I want to look at the body again.
You can't do that. You ain't supposed to touch anything.
I'm just taking off this towel. Well.
She's bald.
Yep, nearly. Otis, check on Professor Leonardo and Dr. Langley.
They the guys you picked out of the Rogues Gallery this morning?
Yeah.
I already did. The doc lives on Charles Street, apartment 209.
You mean you did all that by your little lonesome?
Well, when I talked to the lieutenant, he told me to, just in case.
You continually amaze me, Sergeant.
Yeah.
Now call the wagon and get the coroner over here. Then get some of the boys to pick up the phony professor.
Where you going?
Over to the good doctor's house. The body's been dead about an hour. That would make it between 7 and 8. Now, you see if the professor's got an alibi, and I'll check back here.
Hey, I don't know whether I'll let you go or not.
Sergeant.
Yeah?
Bye. I went out and grabbed another cab for Charles Street. It was dark out, and the heavy fog was rolling in and staking a claim on the city. By the time I reached the doctor's, it was thick enough to be sliced up and sold in large economy cartons. The doc didn't answer my knock, so I went in anyway. I stumbled into a little two-room joint that looked like a chick sales architectural achievement. The doctor was not home, and neither were his clothes and toothbrush, so I started casing. I tore the place apart and came up with a big fat zero, but that was before I looked in the wastepaper basket. Among the trash, I found a rental bill for a hangar and an airplane at the Flyaway Airport on Long Island. I grabbed the phone and called Sergeant Otis.
Yeah?
Otis, this is Diamond.
Oh, the boys are here now. You were right about the time of death, around 7:30.
What about the professor?
We sent a car over to pick him up, but he skipped. We got some dame, though, and she told us that the prof was giving one of them C answers from 7 to 8.
Did you check it?
Yeah, and you was.
Good. Now check and see who gets the dead woman's money in event of her death.
Well, how am I going to find her lawyer at this time of night?
Just find him and meet me at the Flyaway Airport on Long Island.
Okay. Did you get the doctor?
That's what I'm going to do now. And if this fog keeps up, I've still got a good chance. Sometimes a case starts off like a party and ends up like a funeral. This was one of those times, and when it happens, you're never really prepared for it, so you've got to work fast. I used my last $10, besides the $200 the girl had given me, and got to Flyaway Airport in a hurry. The fog was so heavy, I had to almost kick it aside, but I finally found the row of hangars and started looking. I reached the last hangar when I spotted the plane. It was sitting on the strip, and as I moved nearer, I could see the man.
Who's there? Who is that?
I got a gun out, Doctor, so just stand the way you are.
Who are you? What do you want?
I want that little suitcase you've got. I want to take you back to the police.
Police? Oh, what on earth for?
Mrs. Van Dyke is dead, been murdered.
Oh.
Oh, now come on, stop that.
Why, I know nothing about the killing. I swear I had nothing to do with it.
What's in that suitcase?
Why, just some clothes.
Not the Van Dyke collection of jewels?
Of course not. What would I want with them?
Miss Nancy Van Dyke seemed to think you did.
Oh, that's absurd. Here, you can look at the bag if you like, sir.
Well, I'd like. Let's take a walk over here where we can see some light.
If you insist.
Where were you between 7 and 8 this evening, Doctor?
Why, I was at home.
Ah, now you're a two-time loser. If you're lying, they'll wash your mouth for 20 years.
You know about my record, do you?
Looked it up this afternoon.
Well, I suppose I may as well tell you. I wasn't home until nearly 8.
Where were you?
Mrs. Van Dyke's apartment. I was supposed to put her jewels in the downstairs vault.
What happened?
She was dead when I got there.
You sure she was dead?
Yes. She was lying on the bed under a sheet. Pulled it back, saw she'd been stabbed in the throat. I left, packed, came out here. I knew I'd be accused, but I didn't do it.
Hold it. Here's the light. Well, if the jewels are in this bag, you're going to be in a tough spot.
You're welcome to look.
Thanks, loads. Oh! Whatever it was, it caught me across the back of the head, and I went down like a dead palm tree in a hurricane. It wasn't the doctor who had lowered the boom, but someone who had sneaked up in the fog and gotten around behind me. I wasn't knocked out, and I could still hear things, so I just lay there and listened.
Oh, thank goodness you came along. He was going to take me to the police because someone had killed Mrs. Van Dyke and stolen her jewels. He thought I had them. What are you doing? No! No!
I rolled over and looked at the doctor. He was very dead. I got up as fast as I could and started after the killer, but in that fog, it was like looking for a hangnail in a mine shaft. I went into one hangar after another, and I guess if you keep after it long enough, sometimes you get lucky. I went into the last hangar and stopped to listen. Okay, you, come on out. If I have to come in after you, it's going to be the hard way. Well, you're the boss. Now, why don't you stop it? You can't see me any better than I can see you, but I've got the door covered. Now, come on out. If I guess right, that's one big sergeant, and he's so stupid he's liable to shoot you.
Diamond! Diamond, where are you?
In here, Otis. Watch your step. We're playing cops and robbers.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, stop.
You all right, Otis?
Yeah, but this cement's hard.
Crawl over here.
Okay. Hey, who's shooting?
Well, one of two people. Just shot Dr. Langley back on the airstrip.
Yeah? Why don't you blast him?
I guess I'll have to. He doesn't want to come out. Otis, crawl over about 12 feet and make him shoot.
Me?
Yeah, I want to get a good line on him. He's behind those oil drums, and I've got to stand up to do it.
Oh, all right. Hey, Diamond, now?
Yes, Otis, now. Okay, like I said, you're the boss.
I've been hit.
Come on, Otis.
Good shooting.
Glad you liked it. Well, how about you, Professor?
I'm not happy. I got all 3 of them.
He won't be around long. Why did you hit me, and why did you kill the doctor?
I wanted the bag. I thought the jewels were in it.
Aren't they?
No, I opened it back here. I thought the doctor was double-crossing me.
Well, if you ain't got the jewels, why'd you try to kill the old lady?
I didn't.
Oh, come on. This ain't no time to lie.
He isn't lying, Otis. You told me yourself his alibi was good.
Hey, that's right. Then who did?
The one who would benefit most by the death of the woman. The one who had a perfect setup because 2 con artists could be blamed for it. Let's go.
Yeah, what about this guy? How do you feel, Professor?
Oh. Like I said, Otis, you keep. Come on, let's go.
Well, hello, Mr. Diamond. You come to see the bathing suit?
I hope it comes in stripes.
What?
This is Sergeant Otis, homicide.
Has someone been killed?
Your aunt.
Oh, no.
Isn't that touching, Sergeant?
Yeah.
But that horrible doctor. Oh, you've got to arrest him.
Why would he want to do it?
Why, for the jewels, of course.
Now, put your hat on. You must have known that the doctor was going to get the jewels tonight, so you killed your aunt, knowing he'd get there and wouldn't have an alibi.
Why, you're insane.
The trouble was, he got so scared he ran off without him. So he had no motive.
That it was the professor.
Strike two. He didn't have them either.
You're crazy. You can't prove a thing. I didn't stab my aunt.
Who said she was stabbed?
Well, I just...
Something else tipped me to you. The minute I took a good look at your aunt, I knew it couldn't have been a man who'd done the job.
Why not? You're just presuming.
Because there were no signs of a struggle. Your aunt must have known the killer pretty well.
She knew the doctor very well.
Well enough to meet him with a towel around her head and her wig in plain sight on the dresser?
What?
Yeah. And I got in touch with the lawyer, and he said you was the sole heir to the estate.
Were, Sergeant.
Oh, yeah. You were the sole heir, and I'm arresting you because I were there and saw the wig.
Rick, wasn't it fun at the fortune teller?
Yeah, he's going to have to think up a new racket. Like contacting the living.
What?
No, forget it. What's to eat?
I'll go look in the icebox.
Bring some milk, will you, dear?
Mm-hmm. If you'll play something.
I'll try.
Oh, no, not again!
Oh, swell. Can't you get on the night shift or something?
I can't get anything around here, especially sleep. Now, please, will you kindly shut your big fat face?
What do you mean? I haven't sung anything yet.
Oh, but you will. I just know you will.
Well, if you insist.
Oh, no, please, please. I'm a nervous man.
Oh, it calms you right down. Don't blame me for falling in love with you. I'm under your spell, but how can I help it? Don't blame me. Can't you see when you do the things you do? If I can't conceal the thrill that I'm feeling, don't blame me.
Oh, that's pretty. Don't stop.
Oh, I must. Food looks too good.
Did I hear you talking to someone?
Mm-hmm. Listen. Don't blame me for falling in love with you.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, that's funny. He was there a minute ago. Don't blame me for falling in love with you.
I still don't hear anything. Rick, who are you calling?
Sergeant Otis. I'm afraid the guy next door has just cut his throat.
You have just heard Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell. Helen was played by Virginia Gregg. Also in our cast were Wilms Herbert, Ted Osborne, Peggy Weber, and Jack Crucian. Music was under the direction of Frank Worth. Richard Diamond is written by Blake Edwards and directed by Richard Sandville. And now, Dick Powell.
Friends, I want to remind you of the wonderful group of programs NBC has on tap for tomorrow afternoon and evenings. Shows like Hollywood Calling, Guy Lombardo, Four-Star Playhouse, and the Ethel Merman Show. For the best in radio listening tomorrow and always, keep your dial turned to your favorite NBC station.
Dick Powell soon will be seen in the screen version of the best-selling novel, Mrs. Mike. Now, this is Eddie King inviting you to be with us again at this same time next week when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. This program has come to you from Hollywood. Theater Guild on the Air returns tomorrow night on NBC. Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective.
Hello there. This is Diamond. I have a little office on Broadway at 53rd Street. And if you happen to be in the neighborhood sometime, you might notice a sign on the door. It reads Diamond Detective Agency. Yeah, that's how I make a living, such as it is. I sit at my desk behind that door and wait for someone to come in and hire me. Eventually, trouble works its way into someone's life and gives him a shove in my direction. He tells me about it, and I listen with the attitude of a father confessor. When he's done, I dry my eyes and tell him what I think. What I think really doesn't matter, because it's just a shortcut to $100 a day in expenses. Sure, you can hire a guy for less money, but when I work, it's for a price I figure I'm worth. It's got to be that way because sometimes the work's a little dirty, and I have to swallow a lot of pride. I get mixed up in everything from simple divorce to muscle-bound homicide, and when trouble can't find me a client, it starts working on yours truly, and I wind up in a corner. I guess trouble figured I was just about due for a squeeze play because one night last week, 2 lifers in the state pen started working me into their plans.
Well, what about it, Walt? Shut up. Wait until the guards pass. Okay. Drag out the cards like we was playing. Sure. Is it set for the night? Yeah. I got the car and everything. Yeah. We'll head for Florida and get across to Cuba. Oh, well, I'd be glad to get out of this 3 lousy years. Yeah, I got 8 behind me. I used every minute figuring how I'm going to take care of a guy. Oh, Walsh, you're not going to start that again? Forget it. Be glad you're getting out. You knock off that guy and you'll never make it to Cuba. Now, look, I figured this whole thing out. I paid out a lot of dough just to make it come off. And when it does, I'm going to kill an ex-cop. And you're going to help me. Me? Yeah. Unless you want to rot here. Oh, you're out of your mind. If this break comes off, it'll be the neatest trick in years, and you want to louse it up by knocking off some guy on the outside? You can stay here and rot if you want to. The only way I take you along is you help me to get a guy named Diamond. Yeah, but you waste a lot of time in New York. They'll have the roads covered by then. Look, just because this Diamond guy knocked off your brother on that bank job, you see... You bust out of here, it's on my terms. Now make up your mind, it's getting late. Okay, give me the layout. Yeah, what is it, Otis? We just got a call, Lieutenant. 2 prisoners busted out of Sing Sing, killed 2 guards.
Who are they?
Big time. Bob Wells and Charles Walsh.
Charles Walsh?
Yeah, lifer.
I know. Diamond helped send him up before I took over this department. Otis, get Diamond on the phone.
Diamond?
Yeah, Diamond. Who'd you think I meant? Little Red Riding Hood?
Yeah, Lieutenant. Oh, Diamond, Otis. Bring me my bicarbonate, Otis. Someday I'm going to get good and sore.
What did you say?
Nothing. Nuts.
Now what's the matter?
His office don't answer.
Give me that phone. Huh? We've got to find him before Walsh does. Maybe he's over at Helen Asher's house. All right, Otis, stop standing on one foot. You can leave.
Miss Asher's residence?
Hello, Francis. This is Lieutenant Levinson. Is Diamond there?
Why, no, sir, but Miss Asher expects him. Wait a moment, sir. Here's Miss Asher. It's Lieutenant Levinson for Mr. Diamond, Miss Helen.
Oh, thank you, Francis. Hello, Walt.
How are you, Helen? I was looking for Rick.
Oh, I was just talking to him. He should be here in about 20 minutes. Why?
Will you have him call me right away?
Something wrong?
No. Just tell him an old friend of his is in town, and I have to talk to him about it.
Oh, all right, Walt. I'll tell him.
Thanks, Helen.
It'll be at least 20 minutes. He's walking over from his office.
Okay, Diamond, hold it right there. Start walking over to that sedan.
Don't you know it's not polite to point?
Look, laughing boy, I got a big gun in my pocket.
Well, I'm proud of you. I thought it was a crossbow.
Get moving.
Okay. I'd never seen him before. He was a tall guy with a scar on his chin. He walked me over to the sedan and opened the door. He moved in close and shook me down. He relieved me of my .38 and motioned me into the front seat. I slid in and he started to follow, so I kept one leg out in front of me and kicked him in the face. I couldn't get enough leverage to cool him, but it gave me enough time to get out the other door and start making like a miler. I looked over my shoulder and saw him climb out holding a bloody nose. I knew he wouldn't take a shot unless he got close enough to make it count, so when he started after me, I ducked into the subway. I found a dime and went through the turnstile. A train was getting ready to pull out, so I pushed my way on just as the gonnet came down the stairs. He said he wasn't happy to see me go. He didn't even wave goodbye.
Wait a minute, you! Wait! Oh, nuts. My nose. Got away from me. What do I call that? Yeah, you and your swell ideas.
What's the matter?
I waited for Diamond outside his office like you said. I started to hustle him in the car and he kicked me in the face.
Oh.
I think my nose is broken.
You stupid. I told you to be careful.
Yeah, sure you did. You think I like getting booted in the nose? Look, if you want Diamond so much, you get him yourself.
Maybe you can tell me how you're going to get to Cuba without me?
Huh? Oh. Well, what do you want me to do now?
I still want Diamond.
Yeah, but he jumped the subway train. How am I supposed to find her?
I found out he's got a dame over on Park Avenue. Pick her up, bring her over here.
Pick her up? I'd give you the chair for kidnapping.
I'll use her to get Diamond. Pick her up if you want to get out of the country.
Yeah, but a
now,
snitch.
Look, I busted you out of the store. I can bust you right back in.
Oh,
Now pick her up. Her name is Helen Asher. She lives at 975 Park.
well, what if someone else is there?
What if there is? You want me to stop over making a fourth for Bridge? Get him out of the way and bring the dame to me.
Hello, Otis.
Well, Diamond. Lieutenant's been looking all over the city for you.
I bet you've been a nervous wreck.
I wouldn't care if you fell off the George Washington Bridge, Shamus.
Why, Otis? And after all, we've been to each other.
Nuts. You better go on in and see the lieutenant.
Sure. Hey, Sergeant.
Yeah?
When are you going to get some new shoes? If yours turn up any more in front, you'll have to ski to work. Hello, Walt.
Rick, we've been looking all over for you.
Why don't you cops get on the job? It's getting so it isn't safe for a citizen to walk the streets at high noon.
What are you yakking about?
Well, I leave my office to go to see Helen, and some goon tries to hold me up.
Well, you're lucky you didn't get it right then. Do you know who busted out of jail last night?
Go on, scare me.
Charles Walsh. He swore if he ever did bust out, he'd get you.
Wow. That explains something.
Why, what happened?
This character tries to hustle me into a car, so I shoved my foot in his face and beat it into a subway. But it wasn't Walsh.
Might have been Bob Wells. He busted out with him.
I can tell you in a minute. Got a file on him?
Sure. Otis, bring in the file on Bob Wells.
Right away, Lieutenant.
Oh, Walt, do you mind if I use your phone?
Now, go ahead.
I better call Helen. Tell her I'm going to be a little late.
Well, I just talked to her and asked her to have you call.
Where is everybody?
Yes?
Francis?
Oh, Mr. Diamond. Please hurry over here. Something's happened to Miss Asher.
What are you talking about?
Miss Asher's been kidnapped.
What?
Yes, sir. A man came in and made Miss Asher go down to his car at the point of a gun. He also hit me over the head.
Was he a tall man with a scar on his chin?
Yes, sir. That's right.
We'll be right over. Walt, I think the guy that tried to push me around has kidnapped Helen.
Oh, no.
He pulled a gun on her and slugged Francis.
We better get over there.
Now, if Charles Walsh is loose and he's trying to get me, then snatching Helen is a sure way to get me to come around. Hey, where's that file on Bob Wells?
Wait a minute. Otis,
Yeah, Lieutenant.
haven't you got that file on Wells yet?
Yes, sir. Just bringing it in.
Well, step on it. Otis is bringing it in.
Here you are, Lieutenant.
Let me see it.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
Oh, shut up, Otis.
This is the guy, all right. He's the one who tried to pick me up. May I take one of these pictures, Walt?
Sure, but what are you going to do?
I'll see if I can find him. You go on over and talk to Francis. See if this is the same guy who took Helen. I'm going to go down to Skid Row and talk to a wise old owl who knows about things like this. I I got out of the 5th Precinct in a hurry and grabbed a cab for Skid Row. I knew an old deadbeat down there who had a line on every crook in the underworld. And there was just a chance he could tell me where Bob Wells was hiding out. His name was Wilbur Truitt, and he hung out in a shabby dive called the Parrot. Hello, Wilbur.
What? Egad, you at the piano, strike up a chorus of My Buddy, for the wandering boy has returned.
Look, Wilbur,
I would rise and bow from the waist as befits the occasion, but I fear that some sterno I accidentally came in contact with has rusted my spine, and I am forced to remain in a sitting position.
I haven't got time to listen to the routine, Wilbur. I'm looking for someone. Here, take a look at this picture. Ever see this guy?
Unless I have my morning constitutional, Buck, I can bring nothing into focus but a large bottle and a straw.
Oh, waiter, give me a bottle.
You have arrived in the nick of time. I get that wonderful warm glow when you ask for a whole bottle. A snap comparison would be that of a happy mother smiling blissfully at a nursing babe.
Okay, Wilbur, now tell me, do you know this man?
One sip of strength, and I shall have the eyes of a carrot-stuffed feline. Now, yes, I can see the gentleman clearly. In fact, my vision has so greatly improved it begins to take on the functions of an X-ray. For instance, I can readily perceive that the man in question is addicted to false stimulants, and his low brow and squinty eyes tell me that he is indeed a person of some doubtful character.
You're looking in the mirror.
Yeah?
No, here's this picture.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Bobby Wells. The description is flexible.
Know where I can find him?
Up until yesterday, he was residing at an institution upstate. Sing Sing, I believe. It is very possible that he is hiding out in one of his old haunts on 23rd Street, but I couldn't say for sure.
Oh, why not?
This bottle you purchased entitles you to one of my best guesses. To be absolutely accurate, I would need further inducement. It's the risk, bucko.
Bring me another jug, bartender.
Ah, bless you. Try looking in a rooming house at 533 West 23rd Street. Now, if you don't mind, I shall forget the necessity for long conversations and begin to concentrate on the work ahead of me. Goodbye, bucko, and stop in again. Say tomorrow morning if you wake up feeling charitable.
I left Wilbur trying to figure the best way to parlay the two bottles and headed for the address he'd given me. It was a typical apartment house of the district, a 4-story building with a high premium insurance policy. I asked the landlady if a Bob Wells lived there, and she told me a man answering his description had taken a room there that morning. She told me he'd gone out a few minutes before, and she let me into his room. I told her to keep a lookout and warn me if he showed. Then I started looking. I tore the place apart, but I didn't come up with a thing. I spotted the phone and started to call Walt, and that's when I saw it. A pad lying by the base of the phone with a heavy imprint left from the writing on the top sheet. I pulled an old trick. I took a pencil and rubbed the lead lightly over the imprint, and up came one telephone number. I dialed it and waited.
Weinberg's Delicatessen.
Oh, is Bob Wells there?
Oh?
Bob Wells.
Never heard of him.
Thanks. Well, it's like that. 1 minute you think you got a lead hot enough to melt your change purse, and the next you find yourself looking like a tree surgeon in Death Valley. But in my business, it takes a conventional 3 to strike you out. So I found the address of the delicatessen, and 15 minutes later, I was standing between a smoked herring and a 3-foot salami talking with Mr. Weinberg.
What can I do for you, sir?
Oh, I talked with you, say 20 minutes ago about a Mr. Bob Wells.
Bob Wells? Oh, yes. Never heard of him.
Take a look at this picture. Maybe you know the face and not the name.
It's familiar. Yes, I think I've seen him somewhere.
Think hard now. This is important.
Are you a policeman?
Detective.
Oh.
How about it?
Oh, yeah. So long as you're a cop, sure, I remember him. He came to my store last night. I remember because I had already closed and he kept pounding on the door. Finally, I let him in. He was very rude. He bought a lot of groceries, but very rude.
Have you seen him again?
Sure, I came in this morning about lox and bagels. Stell Road.
Where's your phone?
In the back. Has, this Mr. Wells done something?
He left Sing Sing without saying goodbye to the warden. Now, look, I'm going in the back and use your phone. If Wells happens to come in while I'm back there, stall him and come back and tip me off.
I'll do my best. But he better not be rude.
Homicide, Lieutenant Levinson.
Hey, Walt, I'm in a delicatessen over on 24th Street.
Yeah, Rick.
I traced Wells this far, found out he's been buying food here, probably for Walsh.
You think Walsh is hiding somewhere in the neighborhood?
Yeah, that's my guess. They probably took separate places so they could move in a hurry if one hideout got hot.
I'll be over there right away.
Good.
Make yourself comfortable, honey, but no yelling, or I'll have to stuff up that pretty mouth.
I don't understand this. Why did you kidnap me?
I've been having a hard time getting in touch with your boyfriend, Diamond. Figure if his girl's in trouble, he'll come looking.
I don't have a boyfriend.
Sure. Play it straight. But you watch. Tonight I call your butler and tell him we got you. If Diamond wants you alive, he comes to a spot I got picked out. And he comes alone.
I don't know any Diamond.
Ain't she cute, Bobby?
Yeah, cute. Want me to fix her so she forgets how to lie?
No, I don't care if she claims Diamond's her uncle. Go on down to the delicatessen and get some food. I'm getting hungry.
Okay. But I still think we ought to be getting out of town.
In 1 hour, I call this dame's house. At 12 o'clock, I meet Diamond in the park. Then we get out.
Why do you want to see this Diamond?
Oh, we're old friends, baby. He sent me up for life. And he shot my kid brother full of holes. I just want to see that Diamond gets everything that's coming to him.
You talk too much.
You've got some bad habits yourself. Now get that food. And if you're too lazy to walk downstairs, I'll show you a shortcut. 3 floors, straight down. You can jump for it.
Okay.
Good evening, gentlemen. What can Weinberg do for you?
Hey, Lieutenant, that chopped liver sure looks good.
Keep your fat hooks off of that, Otis.
Walt.
Oh, yeah, Rick?
Back here.
All right.
The storekeeper is watching out for Wells. If he shows, he'll come back here and tip us.
I parked the squad car 2 blocks over. I didn't want Wells or Walsh to think something was up. Where's Otis? Otis!
I'll be right with you, Lieutenant. I'm just buying something to nibble on.
His nibble would grind up a whole cow.
If Wells comes in and spots a cop, he'll take off like a jackrabbit.
Hold it, Walt.
What's the matter?
That guy coming across the street. Looks like Wells.
Oh. Otis, get away from that door.
Huh? I can't hear you, Lieutenant.
Our man's coming in the store. Get away from the door.
He is? You want me to hide?
No, you idiot. Just play it smart like you didn't know him. But get away from the door so he'll come in.
Oh, okay, Lieutenant. Leave it to me.
Walt, duck.
Good evening. What can Weinberg do for you?
I'll have a couple of sandwiches.
Hey, try the salami. It's great.
Huh? Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, make it salami.
Coleslaw.
Pickle beer.
Nice night.
Listen to that idiot.
Yeah, sure.
Mustard.
He's doing fine, Walt. Relax.
You live around here?
Huh? No, just seeing a sick friend.
Yeah. Maybe that salami ain't such a good idea if your friend's sick. You know, I had an uncle with ulcers. He couldn't touch the stuff. It's too much garlic.
Ketchup?
No. My friend's got a cold.
Oh, well, then I don't guess it'll hurt him, but you know, the best thing for a cold is good mustard plaster. And now you take the
Here's your
plaster.
sandwiches, sir. 60 cents.
60? Yeah. Thanks.
Hope your friend gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
How did I do, Lieutenant?
Well, one thing is sure. He thought you were too stupid to recognize him. Can you still see him, Rick?
Yeah, he crossed the street and he's starting to walk west.
I'll tell him. He knows you.
Good. When you spot the place, call me here.
Think I should throw a net around the neighborhood?
Not till we spot the hideout.
Right.
Hey, Diamond, they got your girl. How you going to get her out? They'd probably use her for a shield.
That's a good point, Sergeant. Believe me, I've been thinking about it.
Here's the sandwiches.
Swell. Hey,
You
only got 2.
Oh, there was a cop in the delicatessen.
A cop?
Yeah, big stupid one. Listen, I told him I'm getting food for a sick friend, see, and he starts giving me all kinds of
You sure you weren't tailed?
Tailed? No, who tailed me? Cop stayed in the delicatessen.
Okay. Here, honey. Have a sandwich.
I'm not hungry.
Oh. Suit yourself. Here, Bobby.
Oh, thanks. Hey, when are you going to put in that call to this dame's butler?
Right after we eat. Then we go to the park and wait for Mr. Diamond.
Yeah?
I'm in a drugstore across from the building that Wells went in. It's about a block away. Nifty drug. Block west on your side of the street. I'll wait inside.
We'll be right down. Come on, Otis. The lieutenant hasn't spotted.
Okay. Thanks for the bagel, Whitebreak.
That's all right, officer. Come back again when you can pay for it.
Come on, Otis. Move your big feet.
Okay. Hey, you got any brilliant ideas how we're going to get Helen out of there in one piece?
No, I gotta admit I'm stuck. Why don't you get that bear trap mind of yours working and make yourself a hero?
Well, maybe we could start a fire in the building. It'd have to come out.
Oh, swell. There's nothing I'd like better than a well-done girlfriend.
Well, I was trying.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Otis, remind me to kiss you on both cheeks.
Hey, what are you doing? That's a firebox.
I'm turning in an alarm. There.
Oh, we're going to start that fire?
No, but Walsh and Wells won't know there isn't one. When the trucks come and the firemen bust in the place, they'll think it's burning down around their ears.
Yeah, maybe then they won't watch Helen too close, huh?
That's the idea. Well, here's the nifty drugstore.
Yeah.
Rick, I've been worrying about something.
Yeah, I know. How do we get Helen out?
Yeah.
Well, relax. Otis came up with a solution.
Otis?
Yeah, I turned in a fire alarm. And when the trucks get here, you can tell them what's up, and they can go in the building and make like it was on fire.
Well, won't Walsh know it's a phony if he can't smell smoke?
The chief can tell him it's blazing in the basement. When they hit the street, we can get enough firemen to shield Helen and then take Walsh and Wells.
I'll call the precinct and have the block surrounded. We'll need lights if they make a break for it.
Which apartment house are they in?
That one, across the street. After I call the boys, we better go over and find out which room they're in. Quietly clear the rooms on both sides in case the shooting starts before we expect it.
Garlic upsets my stomach.
How about that call?
Yeah, right. What's your phone number, baby?
It's in the book.
Oh, she gonna be trouble, Bobby?
He wants your number. Now, come on, we ain't got all night.
All right. Evergreen 54308.
Oh, that's better. Gotta be more careful, Bobby. Your lip's bleeding.
Yeah. Hey, Walsh, what's that?
Sirens. Maybe that's the cops. If somebody tailed you,
I told you I wasn't tailed. Wait, I'll go see. It's fire trucks. They're coming down the block.
I don't smell no smoke.
Hey, they're pulling up in front of this building. The joint must be on fire. Let's get out of here.
Maybe it's the building next to us.
No, they're bringing the hoses right in front of the door of this joint. I'm getting out.
Sit still. Maybe it ain't a big one. We can't go busting out in the street.
Well, maybe it ain't a big one, but if it is, I don't want to end up like a pound of spare ribs.
Shut her up.
Why, you... All right, now, come on. Hey, what's that?
Yeah, what is it?
Fire department, we're evacuating the building.
What are we going to do with the dame?
Shove her in that closet. Just a minute. We'll be right with you.
Hurry up. There's a fire in the basement. It's nearing a gas main. The whole place may go up any second.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, step on it.
Okay.
Hey, better step on it down these stairs.
We can find our way.
Hey, there's a couple of prowl cars.
Yeah. Separate. We'll meet at the other place.
Okay, Walsh, that's fire now. It's the Shamus. Get him, Walsh.
Don't reach for it, Walsh.
I owe you something, Diamond.
You all right, Rick?
Yeah, Walt. He's a worse shot than his brother. Where's Wells?
He made a break for it, but he won't get through.
All right, Wells. You can't get through. Drop your gun.
You won't take me, copper.
Well, that's that. What about Walsh?
He's pretty dead. Come on, I want to find out what happened to Helen. Well, Walt and I went up to the room and found Helen in the closet. We took her downstairs, and she cried a little on my shoulder. I like that. Makes me feel so protective. Walt cleaned things up and dropped Helen and me off at her place. An hour later, Helen got back to normal and we relaxed on the couch and forgot about Wells and Walsh. How do you feel now, baby?
Better.
Want to get Francis to fix some dinner for you?
Oh, no, I'm not very hungry. You can have some if you want.
No. Want to play some canasta or something?
But you always said it was a bad 200 game.
Yeah, it is. Well, I forgot my jack.
Silly.
Want a neck?
Ooh, what you said.
Come here.
No.
Helen.
No, I'm mad.
Mad? What for?
Because those two thugs ruined a wonderful evening.
What's the matter? Want me to go?
Oh, you idiot, of course not. I had a big surprise planned.
You did?
Yes. Believe it or not, I had 2 wonderful seats for South Pacific, and now it's too late to go.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, baby. I'd love to have seen it.
Me too.
Well, I'm not exactly Ezio Pinza, but I'll try to make it up to you.
Oh, Rick, that's a wonderful idea.
All right. What'll it be?
Some enchanted evening?
Oh, really? Me. A some enchanted evening. You may see a stranger. You may see a stranger across a crowded room.
Rick.
What's the matter? I was just trying to make like Pinza.
But, honey, it's safer for you to make like Diamond.
Oh. And somehow you know even then, that somewhere you'll see her again and again.
Oh, you're not Pinza, but it's wonderful.
Thanks. Some enchanted evening, someone may be laughing. You may hear her laughing across a crowded room.
Oh, really?
And night after night, as strange as it seems, the sound of her laughter will sing in your dreams.
Rick.
Who can explain it? Who can tell you why?
Ricky.
Fools give you answers wise men never try. Oh, honey, what's the matter? I was just falling in love with myself.
Come here.
You never let me finish.
Do you mind?
Oh, no. And I'm sure Mr. Pinza doesn't either.
You have just heard Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell. Helen was played by Virginia Gregg, Lieutenant Levinson by Ed Begley. Also in our cast were Wilms Herbert, Paul Frees, and Larry Dobkin. Music was under the direction of Frank Worth. Richard Diamond is written by Blake Edwards and directed by William P. Rousseau. Now, this is Eddie King inviting you to be with us again at the same time next week when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. This program has come to you from Hollywood. This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.